Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the Basal Labia in his Bitachon, and the Basal Labia is describing to us that the things that appear to be the cause and the effect of life, when we do something and the result turns out to be something else, or perhaps even what we might have thought it's going to be, says the Basal Labia, you have to begin to look past the layers of this world and realize that behind everything is really the Rabbi Shalom. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself is the one that is the ultimate cause and effect of everything in one's life. And therefore the things that happen in the world around us, the actions and the events that we are in, situations that we are involved in, those are only happening the way that they are because they're allowing the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to manifest itself in this world. And therefore don't look at what seems to be, what appears the cause and the effect in the physical world around us. You must understand that the greatest misuvev, the greatest causer of everything is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And these things are what are masking Hashem in the world. And he continues along these lines and he says the following, V'chein lo noimar, so too you should not say, Ki akseinas pasim she'asa Yaakov ilu Yosef yeser al echov. Remember that Yaakov Avinu made a beautiful coat for his son Yosef, and it was more extravagant and beautiful than the other clothing that he gave to his other children. And therefore, we often think, well, because that Yaakov Avinu gave this beautiful coat to his son Yosef, and his brothers saw the coat and they got jealous of Yosef, so then the whole story begins. They get jealous, they throw him into the pit, they sell him off as a slave, he ends up in Egypt. So you see, the cause of the downfall of Yosef HaTzadik with the hatred and the jealousy of his brothers was because of the beautiful coat that Yaakov gave to his son, which he shouldn't have done. He should have known you don't show favoritism to your children. Everybody has to be equal. Everybody has to feel unique and special. Says the Basal Labia, don't say such a theory and an idea. Why? Don't say that because Yaakov Avinu Yosef Yesal Echiv Garma Agolas Lavisenu, it's because that Yaakov gave this coat to Yosef, that's what caused the Golas, the exile to our forefathers in Egypt. Remember, as a result of this story, where the brothers detested their brother Yosef, and they kidnapped him, and they threw him into the pit, and they sold him as a slave to Egypt, and he went down to Mitzrayim, and eventually the brothers came down, and then on top of that, Yaakov Avinu came down, and Klal Yisrael ends up multiplying in tremendous multitudes in Mitzrayim. And then the slavery begins, and it's the servitude of Klal Yisrael. So that means that all of the Golus, all of the exile of Egypt, which are these parshias that we are talking about right now, every single week, it all was generated from the causative effect of the coat that made the brothers jealous. And that's why we ended up in Egypt, and that's why we suffered for 210 years as slaves, and that's why eventually Hashem had to make miracles and take us out with a strong hand and bring us to our Sinai. Says the Basal Labia, Chas v'shalom, how can you say such a thing? You think it's the coat that caused all of this? Rather, ki haya gzeira keduma lozeh bevriz ben abisarim. If you recall the history of the Jewish people, Avram Avinu once had a premonition, a prophetic vision called the Bris Bein HaBesarim, which was the covenant between the parts. And in that covenant that HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed to him the future of Klal Yisrael. And he said there will come a time when your children are going to go down to a land that is not theirs, and they are going to be enslaved for 400 years. And eventually, said HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm going to redeem them and take them out of there. Does it say anything about a coat? Does it say anything about the brothers hating their other brother? No. It says nothing. It says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was goyzer, he made a decree. And in that decree it says that Klal Yisrael is going to go into a harsh golus and exile for 400 years. Rak gzeiras ha-golus sibaba. Shaya siba lezeh shel kusaynis shal yodeh nizgalgal ha-golus. Says the Basal Labia, rather, the decree of exile, the decree of the Gullus, is what led to this coat being the means that brought about the Gullus of Mitzrayim, of Egypt. If Yaakov Avinu never would have made this beautiful coat and given it to Yosef, then the decree that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had made already years before, it would have come about through some other type of a cause in this world. Says the Basal Labia, you have to know that behind the scenes of this world there's a Rebbeinu Shalom. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is making numerous decrees all of the time. We who live in this world, we are not privy to know what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is geyser upon a person, upon a family, upon a community, upon a city, upon our nation. We have no idea. And we can get lost in the seviva, we can get lost in things that are going on around us. Oh, it's because of that. Oh, it's because of that. Oh, if I would have just made that phone call on that day, then the business would have gone through. Oh, the shidduch went through. Ah, well, it's because I called the shadchan, and the shadchan, I didn't have anything in mind, and I pushed and pushed and pushed, and they said, okay, you know what, try this one. Yeah, it's not, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, says the Basal Labia, that's not the reason that things are happening. The reason that things are happening is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu was geyser, decreed in Shemayim already, whether this person will be successful, this person is going to struggle, this person will have a shidduch, and this person is going to remain single for a little while longer. This one will be healthy and they will overcome the sickness that they have, and this one, Rahman al-Zan, is going to, who knows what's going to happen if they're going to succumb to the sickness that is there, God forbid. Each person has a different gezerah that's in their life. And all of the things that we see in the world that are the causative effects, those are just what HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses to conceal himself in this world. But behind it all is really the Rebbeinu Shalom. And the goal in a world of Bitachon is that a person gets to such a level of clarity that we no longer look at the events around us as being the cause to the effects that take place. Rather, we begin to understand that the Rebbeinu Shalom, in his infinite wisdom, he has decreed many, numerous things on a person's life. He knows what is best and he knows what is not good for the person. He knows what that particular neshama needs to go through in this Gilgul, in this lifetime, and therefore he makes specific decrees upon that neshama to give it exactly what it needs to actualize and maximize the potential that's inside of it. And therefore, once that we are going through this situation, even if we think it's because that person did that to me, or because this one did this, or because that happened when it shouldn't have happened. No. Everything that's happening is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu needs to bring to fruition the gezeros, the decrees, and the decisions that he has made already on our neshamas and on our lives. And this is the idea that the Basal Labia is trying to go through. We still have more in this chapter to see. And this is what we have to work on, to recognize that everything that is going on in our lives, even when it seems superficially to be the acts of man around us or somebody else or something else. No. It's all happening because this is the way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu deemed to bring about the gezerah, the decree, that already was upon us from before. Okay, we'll be machazik, we'll strengthen ourselves in the outlook that we have. In that way, we won't be angry with people, won't be upset with people, won't be disappointed or let down by people. We'll recognize that they are really pawns and shluchei makom, they are messengers of Hashem to help His loving and benevolent and true decrees to come out here in this world. Have a wonderful day.